Hello everybody and welcome to another tutorial here on the channel. In this tutorial we're going to take a look at the Last of Us theme played on high G ukulele. In case you're new to the channel, my name is Mustafa and this is MK Fingerstyle Academy, where we have all sorts of fingerstyle content happening for the ukulele, mostly in low G, but this one's in high G to give high G players the chance to experience a true fingerstyle arrangement. So with that in mind, grab your ukulele, tune it, and get ready to learn a super awesome piece. So the challenge of The Last of Us is you're going to play a melodic line on top of arpeggios in triplets. This melodic line happens entirely on the high G string, which, by the way, you can play it as is on the low G and still get the same sound, except your melody will be an octave layer. So you're more than welcome to try this on a low G ukulele if that's all you have. Now the challenge with playing this melodic line is that we're going to go from the 5th fret to the 2nd fret all the way to the 9th fret. There's an 8th fret tossed in there. There is a lot of frets. And if you're new or a beginner in playing ukulele, you'll most likely try to get there to the frets on beat as fast as you can using whatever fingers. But that will make you sound choppy, sloppy, not legato, and it will increase your chances of making mistakes. Professional players do not see those random frets as random frets, but they see them in positions. So with that in mind, let's learn the melodic line, which sounds like this. So this melody revolves a lot around the idea of position shifts. In case you don't know what position is or position shifts, I cover all of that in my Ukulele Fingerstyle Basics course, which is a complete beginner fingerstyle course for the ukulele. So make sure to check it out in the video description if you're interested in that. But in a nutshell, a position is where you have your 4 fingers aligned on 4 consecutive frets. There are other rules to position shifts on how you can extend that, but this is the most basic form of it, and this is what we're going to need to use for this piece. So when I play the first 5th fret, because I'm going to go to the 2nd fret right after it, I'm not going to play the 5th fret with my 1st, 2nd, or 3rd finger. I'm going to use my 4th finger because that's what allows me to get the 2nd fret without any stretch. But as you can see right after that, I have a 7 and a 4. And the distance between the 7 and a 4 is exactly the same fret-wise between 5 and a 2. That is to say, if my 4th finger is on the 7th fret, my 1st finger will be on the 4th fret because they are 4 consecutive frets. So I'm really going to play this position, which is the 2nd position. Then I'm going to move to the 4th position and play 7-4. Then I'm going to use my 2nd finger to play the 5th fret because I am in the 4th position. Now I'm going to have to change, even though I'm going to have to play the 5th fret next, I'm going to change my position so I can play the 2nd fret in legato. Same position shift. Now I'm going to move my 4th finger up to the 9th fret. Now I am in the 6th position, but I'm not really going to use those frets. And then I do that again. Now I'm going to move to the 5th position, and I'm going to play 8, 7, 5, position shift back to the 2. So when you put them together, see if you can spot those position shifts. Now what we need to do is we need to add the chords on top, which is simply going index middle, and I'm counting triplet, 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 with each triplet being a beat. So that's 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. There are 4 beats or 4 groups of triplets in each bar. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. That's what I'm thinking when it comes to counting. Technique-wise, I'm just going thumb, index, middle. And I'm making sure that my thumb is the loudest note, so that people can hear it as my melodic line. speed it up. That is the first level of being able to play the main theme of The Last of Us, which in all honesty, once you do it, you're sort of done playing the piece. So how do you make this more exciting? You'll notice that the ending of the phrases is the same note being played 4 times in a row. So you shouldn't play it exactly the same way 4 times in a row. You should make it different. The general rule is if it's the end of the phrase, you want to come down with your volume, and if it's the beginning of the phrase, you want to go up with your volume. So if you look at The Last of Us, you will notice that the first 2 bars are sort of an intro where you have just the 5. So I'm not going to play it exactly the same. I need to make each 5 different. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build a crescendo that goes from the beginning all the way to the beginning of bar 3, which is when the melody starts. And also, I'm not going to visually keep it boring for my audience. I'm going to create excitement by adding a subtle vibrato. So when you put the 2 elements together, the vibrato with the crescendo, that's the ending of the phrase, so I have to go. The 8th fret doesn't belong, so I have to amplify it. Relax. And the way I'm doing that is by counting 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how I don't lose my location. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Right? Now, when you get to that harmonic, you have to count 1, 2. The trick there in the video when I did it on YouTube is as I'm playing those 8 open A's, I'm moving my hand to where I need to be to make it closer to the 12th fret. So now I'm here. 1, 2. And in case you're wondering what I'm doing a pinch harmonic, which is something that I teach in the Ukulele Fingerstyle Basics course. We don't have time in this tutorial to talk all about that, but if you Google search pinch harmonics for the ukulele on YouTube or in the course, you'll have plenty of tutorials that teach you how to do it. But the trick here is that you use the open repeated A minor chord to move your hand to where you need to be, and you're still counting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3. Now the challenge is once you play that open A, you need to move to this A minor chord. Okay. Now before that, this harmonic is entirely optional. You can play it 1, 2, 3, and then move. You can also play it with your left hand. I just didn't want to do that because I didn't want to let go of this note. I wanted them to ring on top of each other. It is entirely optional. It's not in the original song, so you don't have to do it if you don't like it, but it's really cool and it gives people this kind of like wake up moment. Speaking about waking up, we now have to go to the A minor chord on frets 7, 8, and 9. This is the last beat in that bar, so 4, 1, 3, and so on. So this is just you playing with your first, second, and third. You're going to keep this chord shape and now you're going to put your 4th finger on the 10th fret. 9. You're going to keep these 2 fingers and squish your 1st under it with a little bit of a wrist twist. That's about the most advanced move in this piece. Again. Here you're going to have to break your legato, there's no way around it, but try to do it as fast as possible. You're going to let go, bar the 5th fret, and hit that D minor chord shape with your 3rd finger on the 7th fret and a full bar on the 5th fret. And what I'm doing here is I'm strumming with my index, and I'm making sure I land right on the 2nd string to get that finger picking pattern going. And And I strongly recommend you go strum, index, thumb, middle, index, thumb, rather than using your middle, index, ring, middle, index, because your ring and middle is a slower combination than your index and middle. And for the entirety of the piece, you have been using your index and middle. So if you switch all of a sudden, it'll be noticeable that your speed took a dive. So I strongly recommend you go index, thumb, rather than using your 3 fingers, as you might have learned from the internet by assigning P-mat to the 4 strings. If you're part of the academy and part of my student base, you would know that I never assign P-mat to the 4 strings because it imposes so many limitations and is generally a bad technique. With that in mind, once you're playing that D major chord shape, your 4th finger is free, so you have to kind of be preparing it sort of where the 8th fret is, kind of hover there, because you're going to position shift to the 3rd fret and you're going to have to hit it first as you play that D minor chord shape. Right? I don't just move and land on the chord, that's bad technique. I just move the finger that I need, I hit it, and then I press the finger that I need, and I hit it, and then I press the finger that I need and I hit it. I'm just doing it in rapid succession. Planting my 4th finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you do it all over again. Except the second time when you get to the end of the phrase, you just play an F major chord, C major chord, C major 7 with that B natural instead of a B flat, and then you play the F major with a high C. Just watch out for the repetitions and how many times you have to do it, and keep track of your beat. Remember, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and once you're done, you play that open A, and then you can go back to playing it all over again. Because this is a soundtrack from a video game, and those soundtracks are designed in such a way where you can loop them in case you need them when you program them into the video game. So that's the moment where you can make the loop, or you can just settle on an A minor chord to finish the performance if you're playing it for other people or for yourself. Now, if you listen to the original song, he doesn't play the melody straight. There's slides and hammer-ons and pull-offs and whatever. This is kind of a free-for-all. You can do whatever you want. But I'm just going to show you what I did in the video. So in the video, I play. You get that slide. Basically, when I play a 2nd fret, remember how now we need to use my 4th finger to get to the 7th fret, and we stretched for it to get there? Instead of doing that, just hit the 5th fret and slide quickly to the 7th fret. And you can do that again for the 9th fret. And here he does this in the piece. That's you playing 8, 7, hammer on pull off. That's kind of a trill. I would say if you're a beginner, definitely ignore the trill because you have to make it fit inside a triplet. If you're intermediate advanced, you can try to hit it. Just make sure it goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, triplet, 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 triplet. Make sure that the trill doesn't slow down the triplet. And in the video on YouTube, I do double triplets. I use the 7 just to make it my own, sort of. So there you have it. You can add slides, you can add trills if you want, but those little ornamentations, especially if you vary them from one repetition to the other, will make the piece sound a little bit more sophisticated than what it is. So I hope this tutorial enables you to play the song. It is a very famous song in the video game world. It's a very famous song because of HBO's show. The Last of Us is truly wonderful. I am in my 3rd playthrough right now. I've never watched the show, but I should watch it. And this piece, whenever it comes, it really gives you goosebumps. In case you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do to not miss a single beat in this channel. I'll see you in the next video.